Are you looking for the best automatic cat feeders in your budget? Well, in today's video we break down the top 5 best automatic cat feeders. I made this list based on their price, quality, durability and more. To find out more information about this product, you can check out the description below and also make sure you subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video. Starting at number 5. We have the Petlibro Air Automatic Pet Feeder. The Petlibro Air Automatic Pet Feeder has everything you need to reliably feed a cat on a timer, but lacks the useful app that makes the Wi-Fi edition of this feeder our very favorite. Instead of the 30-day lithium-ion battery, this more minimalist Air model comes with USB-C plug with a 5-foot cord with 3 D-cell batteries for backup in case the power goes out while you are away. An indicator on the device keeps track of how much battery life is left. We tested the Air in our New York lab and found that a little over 7 cups of kibble was the maximum amount it could hold. The manual feeding button works well, and you can press it up to 5 times in a row for a larger serving. The default portion is 1/24 cup and you can program up to 6 timers to dispense a maximum of 16 portions, 2/3 of a cup, at one time. But there is no indicator confirming that a timer has been set, so we recommend you monitor the feeder over a day to make sure it's dispensing as you desire. The feeder arrives almost fully assembled, except for a stainless steel bowl and the plastic tray the bowl sits in, both of which are easy to clean. To keep unwanted pests from accessing the food tank, a rotating barrier seals off access through the feeding port. Plus, the lid has a press-to-release button that forms a tight seal to preserve the freshness of your cat's food. Moving on at number 4. We have the WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder. The WOPET Automatic Pet Feeder holds up to 7 pounds, or slightly under 30 cups, of dry cat food while providing reliably timed feedings with consistently sized portions. Even with its ability to hold a significant amount of kibble, the feeder has a sleek design that keeps it from looking bulky or overwhelming a space. The initial assembly of this automatic feeder from WOPET comes together quickly with the majority of items intact right out of the box, but the programming steps for scheduling feedings was less intuitive than other models we tested. You must first select which feeding you are doing, e.g. first of the day, then how many portions to dispense, a portion size is less than 1/4 cup, and then the time of day for the feeding. Once we got the hang of it by carefully reading through the provided instruction manual a few times, programming variations become more straightforward. It also offers the option to trigger a manual feeding with the simple push of the button, but this feeder does not connect to Wi-Fi, so there is no option to control via your mobile device. In our testing, we used 2 different sizes of cat kibble along with larger dog kibble. The smaller sized kibble was more compatible, so something to keep in mind if your cat has a preference for a bulkier food or you plan to use with a small dog. At number 3, we have the Petlibro Automatic Dog and Cat Feeder. Before we tested the Petlibro Air and Whisker Feeder robot, this highly convenient feeder was our choice for best overall. And the Petlibro Automatic Pet Feeder continues to be a reliable automatic feeder with several different configurations at a very reasonable price. The Petlibro has a power adapter and a battery backup, which uses 3 D-cell batteries. It has a decent interface for programming a feeding schedule on the LCD screen on the front of the device. You can also record a short message to draw your cat to the bowl for feeding time. Also included is a slot for a desiccant bag to keep kibble dry. However, since Petlibro recommends changing the desiccant every 2 weeks, it may not be worth consistently buying filter refills unless you live in a very humid climate. You can schedule up to 4 feedings a day, which can each be customized to serve your preferred portion size. However, you can't set a different schedule for different days, such as weekends. The Petlibro will run the same schedule every day. It has a 24-hour clock which eliminates any ambiguity and makes it less likely you'll set the device to feed at the wrong time, but takes some getting used to for those accustomed to a 12-hour clock with AM and PM settings. Our testers were also split on the food reservoir, which requires both hands to open. It's meant to ensure that your pet can't gain access to the kibble in the reservoir, but testers found it aggravating to open and refill. Cleaning was also a bit of a chore, with multiple components that had to be washed by hand. At number 2, we have the whisker feeder robot. After multiple rounds of testing, the whisker feeder robot continues to be the most impressive feeder we've ever tested. The adaptable automatic cat feeder has a variety of intuitive feeding options and the most useful app of any feeder we have tested. It also scored especially high marks for its features, effectiveness, timer accuracy, and portion control. But its high price and large size might be too much for many cat owners. The design of the feeder robot is simultaneously futuristic and friendly, though it's definitely on the larger side in the automatic feeder realm, so buyers should be ready for it to take up a fair amount of space. Despite its substantial dimensions, the feeder robot tapers to a 9 by 11.25-inch footprint. This makes it feel a little top-heavy, though not enough to be concerned about cats knocking it over. In our lab testing, bashing it with a 10-pound sandbag didn't make it budge, so neither will your cat. Setup out of the box is a cinch, taking us about 15 minutes, including downloading and syncing the phone application, by scanning a QR code on the back of the feeder, which is available on iOS and Android. It's easy to dial in precise meal times and serving increments with the feeder robot's robust settings, through which you can dispense up to a full cup of food as frequently as 8 times a day. A dispenser that uses 1/4 cup increments is already installed in the feeder robot, but you can swap it for an included 1/8 cup dispenser that provides more precise portion control, though this reduces the maximum single serving to 1/2 cup. There's also a setting that dispenses just enough food to keep the bowl full, with the feeder robot checking its level every 6 hours. If your cat doesn't overeat and you don't closely monitor servings, this gravity mode ensures that the feeder isn't dispensing an overflowing mound of food while you're away. Finally, at number 1, we have the Petlibro Air Wi-Fi feeder. The Petlibro Air Wi-Fi feeder is not the most fully featured automatic cat feeder we tested, but it does have the best balance of reliability, affordability, smart features, and ease of use out of any we've tested. The Wi-Fi version of the Petlibro Air uses a large, 5,200 mAh lithium-ion battery, that's a higher capacity than the largest iPhone, to power the feeder for 30 days at a time, after an 8-hour charge. In our experience, the long-lasting battery life typically extends well past 30 days. The Petlibro Air device is very compact for an automatic feeder, and since it's wireless, it's easy to put anywhere in the house, even up on higher surfaces, or to move it from place to place. Its rounded, squat design also makes it difficult to tip over. One of our test cats can be very determined, and spent months terrorizing his apartment's robotic vacuum. But after several nights of trying to extract dinner early, he was only able to scoot the feeder a few inches across the floor, and never got close to knocking it over. Programming the Air Wi-Fi is done entirely through the app, where you can set how many portions to dispense. Each portion is 1/24 of a cup, up to 16 per meal. You can schedule up to 10 meal times a day. The app is relatively bare bones, but straightforward to use and useful. It's easy to toggle an existing schedule off for the day, and to change little configuration options like your preferred unit of measurement. We stuck to cups. It keeps a log of previous feedings too. The app doesn't even advertise at you, except on a dedicated Services tab, through which you can look at other Petlibro devices and order more pet food from Amazon. Thanks you for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. If this video is helpful to you, please make sure like, comment and subscribe. If you have any question related to this product, you can leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible.